How would you like to work with your favorite music artist? Record their performances, interview them, get to know them on a personal level, and post their work online. Our guest today has worked with numerous artists from Big Sean to Tyga. Today he will share with us concerts that he filmed and the videos he has created to help these artists promote themselves. The Humanities Mass Communications Department at Norwalk Community College presents The New Directors, the show that introduces you to television's future writers, directors, and personalities. And now, join our host, Michael Pereira, to meet the new directors.
Thank you for joining us for today's edition of The New Directors. All of the people involved with this program are students in the television production course and are directing, switching, controlling, audio operating cameras, and acting as talent for the first time today. The guests you are about to meet are students who, when not on camera, are behind the scenes working hard to bring this program to you with as few mistakes as possible. Each student will write and direct 4 different productions. This program will give them the chance to talk about themselves, the productions they are planning, and give you the chance to get to know them and watch their progress throughout the semester. Our guest today is a student who has worked and filmed for well-known artists. At this point, he has worked with over a dozen artists. He is here today to share the experience of filming on stage with artists. Michael Squires. Mike, so we know that you have worked with many famous music artists. Tell us about your favorite experiences and show us some of the videos that you have created.
Working with famous artists is an incredible experience. It's crazy to think how I got here, because less than a year ago, I was filming for local artists. Recently, I just was on tour with Kid Ink, and you can see the video. But basically, how I started out is I shot a music video in New York with a buddy of mine who I went to school with, and a blog picked it up. From there, I started getting more well-known, and another Connecticut artist by the name of Danimal Lecter, he contacted me. And from that, I got more buzz because the same blog posted it up and they saw I was doing like bigger videos now. Now, it really started to change when I started doing big shows like the video that you see here, when a group named Platinum Entertainment allowed me the opportunity to film for some of their shows. Now, the first show I went to was a Big Sean show, and I was just a side camera there. I wasn't a big deal. I was just filming for fun, you know, no pay, nothing. I was just doing it because I'm passionate about it. But as you can see here, this is the Kid Ink video I put together, and I was getting paid for it. I was on 3 stops of the tour. The footage includes Boston, Connecticut, and Rhode Island stops, and it was just incredible following an artist just day by day to see what it's like in his life. And he was a very nice person. I would definitely work with him again. And but I've worked with artists, not all of them are nice. I just recently worked with an artist named Tyga, and she just was extremely rude to all the cameramen. And it was just kind of a disappointment because you almost look forward to working with them, and then you don't want to meet them and then just be a nasty person, because it ruins the music for me personally. Like now, I listen to Kid Ink daily because he was just such a nice person and just easy to work with. His shows have a lot of energies, as you can see. It's just a wild experience. And a lot of the lesser-known artists that I've been working with, like in the past, they kind of look up to me now, and they're always asking me if I can get them into shows. But really, it's an incredible experience.
Those were really interesting videos. Nice work. So could you tell us why you decided to take the television production course?
I took TV production to expand my knowledge in video production. I do a lot of filming on my own time, and I just thought TV1 could help me make my shots look better. And honestly, from what I've learned, it really does. I really look for classes that I can get a lot out of, and I'm happy to say that TV1 is a class that I've get more than my money is worth out of it. It's just an awesome class, and I look forward to taking TV2 in the future.
That's nice. That's great. So tell us, what are some of the most useful things that you actually have learned in this course?
There's so much that I've learned in this class. It's very hard to narrow it down to two things, but just for the sake of the interview, I will. So I've learned to keep scenes simple. Now, this may be a simple concept, but before this class, everything was kind of clustered up in my shots. By keeping it simple, I make it so the audience focuses on the subject and there's no way around it, you know? And then I also learned how to do a shift focus. And the shift focus, you need a shallow depth of field, and it really helps get my shots. Now, there's all different types of shots I've learned, such as getting emotional lines and framing techniques, lines of grace. I mean, I could go on for forever for what I learned, but it just utilized very useful skills in this course.
Wow, that's very interesting. That's great. So please tell us about the learning sequence. Tell us about the Student Takes Notes, the Fall Foliage Project, and the Orange Project that you created throughout this course.
Sure, I'd love to. All right, so let's start out with the learning sequence. The learning sequence was definitely a learning experience. Here you can see I created a sequence of my actress sitting down and jotting down a quick note before she realized she's late for class. I was able to use my first shift focus ever in this project, and my backgrounds weren't necessarily as simple as they could have been, but you'll see throughout the videos that I really learned that. But this was the first time I ever really did a shift focus, so for a beginner, I believe I did pretty well. And here we have the Student Takes Notes. Now, the Student Take Notes was very similar to the project I chose for my learning sequence, except this time it was going into more detail. I was able to use macro settings to get a close-up of a pen and utilize shift focuses throughout. This really just made my project look that much better. And I do believe that from the learning sequence to this sequence, there was a huge improvement, and overall it was just a better project. Now we have the Fall in New England. I really enjoyed this project because we had a lot of freedom with this project. I used many different techniques in this video, such as the poor man's dissolve and continuous zooms. We also utilized different types of lines, such as lines of grace, emotional lines, and converging lines. There you can see some backlit leaves, and even though there was somewhat of a cluttered background, I still considered that more simple just because of how elegant it looked. And now we have my Orange project. This project was kind of a cluster. And by that I mean I had everything so organized, but the talent in this was just very difficult to deal with. Here you can see my sister, the star of my Orange project, washing her face, and I used a close-up on her face in the water, just to get the audience to see what I want them to see. And it was fun working on all those.
Well, you did very well in those projects. It really, you truly captured the image. Now, out of all those projects, please tell us which one is the best one?
I like so many different things about each project, but overall, I believe my Fall in New England project is my best. I think my filming for this one was spot on. I had a lot of lines of grays, C lines, S lines, close-ups. I just felt really happy with this project overall. Not that I wasn't happy with the others, but it's just, I feel like everything came together really well. There you can see a shift focus, which I pretty much mastered in my eyes through this project. I think the simplicity in the project was brilliant too. I really like how my shots came out. The project made me realize that keeping shots simple really makes your audience have to focus on it. And there are some converging lines to try to bring some energy there, some more leaves that I tried to keep simple. And I got shapes such as circles in the berries, close-ups of bugs, and somewhat of a shift focus, and a poor man's dissolve. It really was incredible working on this project. And that's why I would say it's my best overall.
Now, you mentioned the variety of things that you have learned in this course. What was the most important skill you learned and how will you put it to use?
I would really like to take my editing to the next level throughout my show videos by giving them awesome titles. My titles are kind of bland in some of my videos, and I feel like having a big title in the beginning would help make my videos pop. And if I could use more shift focuses throughout my videos, I feel like it'd keep the audience more into the video. And so it makes me look professional and makes it look like I didn't buy a camera at Best Buy.
Thank you, Mike. Today, we got to meet someone who shared with us the life of working and filming for artists. He hopes to use the things he has learned in TV1 and use them in his career of filming. We would like to thank Michael Squires for joining us today.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Mike. We hope you enjoyed meeting some of television's future directors, and we hope you will continue to join us each week to watch our progress. Thank you, and have a good day.
It's been The New Directors, with your host, Michael Pereira, directed by Paul Morales. I'm your announcer, Alex Ravella. The New Directors is a Norwalk Community College student production.